Hi, my gorgeous, wonderful people, and welcome to yet another powerful episode of Play with Possibilities. I know you all received the first episode with so much love, and I received so many emails, so many countless WhatsApp messages that, wow, thank you so much for starting with this because this is so powerful. And especially a lot of people who have done access consciousness classes with me say that every time they keep using the tools, something shifts for them. And every time they even hear videos where we talk about tools, it just changes something for them. And something, I'll tell you a little secret why I do these. Of course, it's to share with you all, to make people know that there are such tools available which can help you really empower you and help you create a different reality. But along with this, I also feel that every time I share a tool, every time I talk about the tools of access consciousness, it also shifts something inside of me. It helps me peel a layer, and I always feel more lighter after using these tools. And that's the reason here we are. Hi, my name is Dr. Ashwini Chube. Welcome once again to Play with Possibilities. This time we did it on Tuesday instead of Monday. But yeah, sometimes you you can do that and you're allowed to do that, because yesterday I realized when it was the end of the day and I was so tied up with so many things, and it was already 10 o'clock, and I realized that oops, we just missed doing Play with Possibilities. And now the Monday is gone because I've promised everyone that we will be sharing it on Monday. And I asked myself a question, okay, what else is possible? And I just felt when I woke up this morning that, okay, what if I can do Play with Possibilities today? You see, we are so stuck with our own rules, regulations, staying in the box, that we rarely understand that there are infinite possibilities available to us. And it could be as little as this, as little as doing a live and connecting to more and more people. So when you realize that life is not about conclusions and it is about questions, you can create so much. Have you ever experienced a scenario where you felt so stuck, almost you felt like it's the end of the road and you do not see any ray of hope? And then you come to a conclusion that, oh, looks like things are just not working anymore for you. And then out of somewhere, something just shows up and you think it's a miracle. But the truth is, you asked for it. There are two types of people in this world. There is one type of people who, and of course all the types of people go through ups and downs. We all go through those so-called obstacles, but technically what is happening, they are just taking us to a different route. They are obstacles, as they say, are only detours on your journey of life, right? So there are two types of people when faced with obstacles. There is one type of people who will just keep saying that, oh, things are not going well. The world is going to a bad place. I'm very unlucky. Things are not working well with me. Things will not work well. Um, things are just too bad. I'm going through a bad patch. And then there is another category of people who say that, okay, I know things are not going well, but I know there is a way out. Which one are you? If you are watching my video till here, I'm sure you are the second category who says that, okay, I know there is a solution. I know there is a way out of this. So people who do not stay stuck in conclusions often are the ones who create something greater. So if you could stop staying in conclusions, in limitations, thinking that you have no choice and you have no possibilities, what if you could choose something greater instead of being there? Does that serve you anymore? I'm sure the answer is no. So, what if you could choose something greater? And what if instead of getting into the conclusion and a no possibilities, no choice universe, which you have created and where you are feeling stuck, You could create a reality where you could ask a question rather than staying in a conclusion. One of the 10 commandments of access, or also what these are called the 10 commandments of access, or what Gary Douglas has written a book on, 10 keys to total freedom. I think this is my favorite part of access consciousness. And I personally believe that in 2017, when I started doing the advanced classes, the foundation, the choice of possibilities, the body class, and all the advanced classes, what one thing I realized was I stopped being a prisoner of my own circumstances. I did not let my limitations create my life. I did not let anyone else's limitation create my life. And I actually started creating from a space of what else is possible. And I think this was the gift of what access consciousness gave me. So the moment you stop coming to conclusions, or the moment you define yourself by your limitations, making that your reality. So imagine if you have obstacles coming on the way, things are not working in your favor, and you come to a conclusion saying that this is my reality. I can't do anything. It doesn't work like that. One of the biggest excuses which I always heard my pre-access consciousness era from people at work, from friends, from everyone. ऐसे नहीं होता है. It doesn't work like that. You have to accept it and you have to just go by all of that. And at my core, I always believed that there was always another way out. This reality which we have created by our point of view. And if you want to change your reality, you have to change your point of view. So this reality in which we live, most people have created dense judgments. Now, judgments are nothing but conclusions about someone, because most people, when they think we talk about judgment, they feel judgment is judging someone as bad. But judgment is making a clear conclusion about someone, whether it is good or whether it is bad. For instance, when you say someone is the best, that's the judgment too, because it's your point of view about them. Many people, when they are out in the competition, so-called competition in access consciousness, again, we say that there is no competition as such because we are infinite beings. But when people are, say, trying to start a new profession or an occupation, a lot of people say that there is already a lot of competition. I realized that in 2015, when I quit my job and I was on brink of becoming a coach, a trainer, and when I used to talk to so-called experts, they would advise me that the training industry is already saturated. So don't go there. That was what most people told me. So, we live in this world where people give you a lot of caution and they think that they are giving you a caution about something. So I believe that when you operate from a space of caution, you are still operating from a space of fear, and you are not operating from a space of possibilities. So every time you come to a conclusion, you create a solidified event. What is a solidified event? Something which you cannot change. So imagine when you come to a conclusion, you can't change it. So what if you can go beyond the conclusion? What if you can go beyond what is available to you right now? Everywhere you're operating from impossibilities, what if you could operate from possibilities? And everywhere you are coming to a conclusion, what if there is a way out? Everywhere you see there is a dead end, what if there is a way out? Access consciousness teaches us to believe that there are possibilities available for everyone and everything is always working out for you. In the first class, which is the Access Bars workshop, which I take up almost every 2 months, there is in the manual, there is this sentence which says that things are possible for everyone. And I remember one of my participants in the class, when we read that sentence, that possibilities are everywhere and you have access to those possibilities. I remember a participant of mine just broke down in front of the whole group. And what she said was that she was always told that things are not possible for her. So it had become such a staunch part of her belief system that things are supposed to be in a certain way. And if you do not fit in that box, you are a failure, you are a loser in life. And she said that I was always considered a loser, a failure. I was always considered that I was not good enough initially by her family, by her parents, then by her spouse, by her husband, by her in-laws, and at a later point of time, even by her children, because they always told her that there are things are supposed to be in a certain way, and she has not made it. And when she read this sentence in the class, she actually said that I think this sentence changed my life. And now I can look at life from a space of possibilities. And of course, that's one of the reasons we say play with possibilities, because how do we tackle, how do we get into possibilities? How do we attract possibilities? And the very simple way what access consciousness says is ask a question. Because a question always creates possibilities. A question always empowers. A question always opens up pathways where you initially thought there were only walls. So, living in the question, what does living in the question say, which is one of the 10 keys to total freedom, or what we call as the 10 commandments of access? Being in the question always means that you ask a question. Now, whom do you ask the question to? Don't ask the question to others. You ask the question inside your head. You are asking this question. So, if you are looking at the science, you are technically asking this question to your own subconscious mind. If you are a spiritual, I would say that you are asking the question to the universe. But I always say that when the science and spirituality always merge at one point, because your subconscious mind itself is the universe. So both are one and the same thing. But I always, when I'm talking to clients, for the practical, rational people, I always say that you are asking your subconscious mind. And when someone says that, someone who is a spiritual person, I say you're always asking to the universe. And that's exactly because both things are one and the same anyway. We'll talk about that some other time. But living in the question often means we look at the situation and say, okay, what can I do with this? Can I change this situation? How can I change this situation? I remember once I put out one of in one of my lives, or one write up I wrote, where I wrote as an access consciousness question that what if everything is possible for you? And on that, I saw someone who I don't even know who that person is, a follower, wrote that no, everything is not possible. And she put a small smiley over there with a smiling face, that not everything is, no, everything is not possible. And my heart really broke. I just felt so bad for that soul, because that person was so invalidated, and she was told that things are just not possible for her. And she was operating from that space where she was feeling that नहीं मिलेगा यार, अपने को सब चाहिए वो नहीं मिलता है. And it makes me feel so terrible that people are so lost in their own prison of impossibilities that they are not willing to see beyond that. So I always say, ask questions like, what is really possible here? What can I create? And what choices do I have? What possibilities do I have here? What else is possible? And what contribution can I be and receive here? Now, when you ask these questions, if you're feeling stuck and if you're feeling at a dead end in life, you can just write these questions. If you just missed writing them, probably go back to this video whenever you hear it and just rewind and play it again. But the main questions you can ask when you are feeling stuck is what else is possible, and what is possible which I never thought was possible. What possibilities do I have here which I never thought of? Or everywhere I'm thinking of, what if there are no possibilities? What if I could look at it from a different picture? What if I'm not willing to acknowledge the infinite possibilities? What will happen if I start acknowledging those infinite possibilities? And what if it could create greater? I always say that when you ask these questions, always say, what if that would create something greater? See, the tools of access consciousness always work, and they always create something greater for us. And I know so many of you who have not even done classes with me. I know someone who is now a very good friend, and at later point of time, she also did an access consciousness class with me. But there was a time pre-COVID where I would talk about the videos, and she used to follow all my videos. And then she said that, Ashwini, those videos really helped me so much in lockdown. Even before I did an access consciousness class, I think those tools just helped me in the lockdown and in all that difficult time where the entire earth was going through the pandemic situation. And when she did the access consciousness bars workshop with me, she said that that of course took her to another level. And she said that, what can I create now? And I always say that when you look at these tools, when you write down these tools, make sure you use the tools. It is like, say, if you have fever and cough, you go to see a doctor, the doctor gives you medicine, and you carry that medicine strip with you. But if you don't take the medicines, how will you feel better, right? It's just like that. The tools are available. Use the tools, especially if you're done access consciousness bars classes, any access consciousness intro classes. Use the tools. Go back to your manual, keep reading it, keep sharing it, keep getting your bars run. And if you have never experienced access consciousness, if you never experienced bars, or if you have never experienced the tools, I would invite you to experience that. What possibilities could that create for you? What if that could create something bigger, something greater? And as we are playing with possibilities today, I would love to hear from all of you if there is anything which you want me to specifically look at. You can write a comment below, and I will make sure that I will answer the comment even after the live is done. I will make sure that I answer your questions. So one of the key elements of not being in the conclusion and being in the question is that you are operating from a space of possibilities. Also, when you come to a conclusion, you come to a judgment. A judgment keeps you stuck in a scenario which does not allow you to see beyond that. So they say for every judgment to exist, it takes 25 plus judgments to hold one judgment into place. And thus it keeps on going like a multi-level marketing plan. It keeps on creating a geometric progression. So living as your question, like the tool in the 10 keys to total freedom says that it's more than just asking a question and looking for an answer. So when you ask a question, when we say in access consciousness, ask a question, it's not just asking a question, adding a question mark to the end of it, or do not ask a disempowering question. Don't ask a question like, um, why is this happening with me? Because why? I always say that, especially the question, why is this happening with me? And when clients come with really difficult situations, they first thing they say is, why is this happening with me? And I always tell people that when you ask the question, why is it happening with me? It's a loop. It will keep you stuck in that. So why is it pathetic questions to ask? Instead, ask questions like, what else is possible? And don't look for answers, look for possibilities. Because when you ask a question, don't look for answers. Instead, look for what shows up as a possibility. When you say what else is possible, you will not immediately get the answer, but you will be guided to do something and some way will show up. So every time you feel stuck, keep being in the question. And if you want to know more about these tools, of course, one of the best ways to start your journey is by reading. There's a beautiful book called 10 Keys to Total Freedom by Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane, the founders of Access Consciousness. They've explained it so much in depth, and it's so beautiful to read that book. So you can start reading that book. If you want to start your journey of Access Consciousness, one of the best ways to start with is take a Access Bars workshop. Trust me, guys, I think I've facilitated more than 25 classes with more than 50 people so far. And it's, even with 50 plus people, and I can say 20 plus children. So I've totally facilitated almost 70 to 75 people in access consciousness. And every class has created something greater for them. There is no coming back. But I always tell people that keep using the tools. Access consciousness is not just a healing modality, and this was a question which was asked by one of my participants. It's a way of life. Whether you are an entrepreneur looking to grow your business, whether you are a professional who is feeling stuck in their career, or you are someone who is unemployed looking for a job, or you are a student looking to have more possibilities, or you are just a person who wants to live life better, who feels that right now their life is very much in a stuck place, things are not working well, and if you have a lot of resentment, animosity going on inside of you, which is making you unsettled, I will invite you to be a possibility, to explore the possibility, to know who you truly are and what you truly can create. So I hope this Play with Possibilities episode is helping you today to create more. Do write down the tools which I shared with, and just keep asking those questions to the universe or your subconscious mind, like I said, and keep looking for possibilities to show up. Once I asked a question, what else is possible? I got a very heavy discount when I was booking for hotels. I was planning a vacation with my friends, and all the hotels were full, and the ones which were available, and I had said that I'm going to only stay in a 5 star, I'm not going to stay in any other place, and all the 5 stars were showing very high rates, and we were looking at reservations, and I just said, okay, what else is possible, what will it take for me to receive a good deal? And the next morning I woke up and I received a deal where for almost 4 or 5 nights where we all were planning to travel, the deal was for a 5 star hotel. The entire deal was as much as it is per night. So I ended up paying almost one fifth of the price of the hotel where I stayed. I had a fantastic vacation. I was supported. It was a very good vacation. It was a safe vacation. I got pick up and drop from airport, that too as a complimentary gift from the hotel, and it has created possibilities. And this is just one area of life which I'm sharing, but I think if you have used the tools, you will see that you practically start receiving support from every person, every atom molecule of the universe. So if you're feeling absolutely stuck, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling sad, if you're probably crying while watching this, because I know there are so many people who are going through really dark, difficult times, I ask you to play with possibilities, ask a basic question. What else is possible? What is really possible here? What possibilities can I create here? What choices do I have? And what can I create from this space, which I've never thought was possible? This is Dr. Ashwini Chube signing off from Play with Possibilities. Thank you very much for watching this, and thank you very much for sharing your comments, your love, and all the comments, likes, and shares with you. Have a wonderful evening, and wherever you are in the world, I wish you love, happiness, success. What else is possible? Bye bye.